My apologies for my sick sounding voice in this video. If you've been watching this channel for any length of time, you know that long tones are something that I incorporate into my fundamental routine all the time. I believe that the simplicity of just playing one note and focusing on the quality of attack and the quality of the sustained sound just makes them unbelievably beneficial for players of all skill levels. I have a video where I went into depth on long tones and why I incorporate them and how you could do that. I'm going to link that video at the end of this video, so when you're finished watching it, you can check that out if you haven't seen it. For this video, what I thought would be cool is to do a play along where I would play long tones and then you would have the opportunity to play along with me. The structure I chose to use for these long tones is first, I set a metronome for 66 beats per minute. This is just what I chose for this video. You can choose any tempo that you want in your own practice. Next, what we're gonna do is we're gonna perform these long tones with an 8 on, 8 off structure. What this means is I'm gonna play a long tone for 8 counts of the metronome, and then I will rest for 8 counts of the metronome. While I'm resting, that is your opportunity to play the same note I just played, and then when you are resting for 8 counts, that'll be when I play mine, and we'll just trade back and forth like that. For this particular series of long tones, I started on middle G and descended chromatically down to low F sharp, and then I went back to middle G and I ascended chromatically all the way up to double G. I did make a few errors while recording this, and instead of editing them out and trying to pretend to be perfect, I thought it would be great for me to just be real and show you what it actually sounds like when I go through this exercise. We're gonna get started in just a second, but I wanna share with you what my goals are for this exercise so you can know what I'm going after, and if you want, you can try to go after the same goals as well. First off, when I'm playing long tones, I'm not thinking of them as a warm-up. Yes, they are pretty low impact, and so you can treat them as something that is helping you warm up, but I actually have very specific habits that I'm trying to imprint, and because of that, I really don't think of them as warming up, but rather I am practicing. The first habit I'm trying to pay attention to and establish is the way that I breathe. When I breathe, I focus on trying to keep the air on my lips. You can practice this yourself by taking in a breath of air and trying to get it to be cold on your lips. If you can feel that cold spot kind of on the outside of your lips or just on the inside, you're doing it correctly. The opposite of this is to have a very open oral cavity and go. When I do that, I feel it being cold on the inside, kind of on my middle of my tongue or so. The second habit that I'm trying to establish is the way I release air. And in this case, I'm trying to release air in exactly the same spot that I felt that cold part when I breathed in. The reason I focus on this is so that the way that I breathe in and the way that I release sound is consistent. I can repeat this over and over and over again, which leads to more consistency in my trumpet playing overall. The third habit that I'm trying to establish is to have the most beautiful, centered, resonant sound that I possibly can on every single note that I play. If you drew a picture of this note, the most ideal shape for me of this long tone would be that of a brick. As you do this exercise, and as you listen to me do this exercise, you're gonna notice that it's not gonna be 100% perfect. My goal with long tones is to get the majority of the notes that I play to sound when I want them to become more consistent over time, with the end goal being literal perfection, trying to get every single note to be exactly perfect. I really have no idea if I'm going to be able to achieve that in this lifetime, but that's what I'm going after. So my encouragement to you is to not worry so much if you're not playing as well as you want to or if you're making mistakes. Don't focus on the mistakes, focus on what you want to try to be establishing and just seek progress over time. The last thing I want to share before we get started is about the range that I chose to do in this video. I really don't care how high you take this exercise. If you can't play up to a double G like I did in this video, that's fine. Just don't do that. Likewise, if you can play above a double G and you want to take it past that, please do. You'll hear in this video that as I pass high C and high D, the sound will start to become a little bit softer. The quality of sound remains good, but it's not nearly as powerful as the sound is in the lower to the mid to even a little bit of the upper register. It's not until I get to high F sharp and double G where you start to hear the sound falter a little bit, and that's where I stopped. The way I like to guide people is to have them ask the question, can I keep going higher while playing with good habits, or will continuing to go higher cause me to establish bad habits and to possibly injure myself? We certainly want to push ourselves in a controlled manner, but no part of this is worth injuring yourself. So if you're going to injure yourself, don't go any higher. Now that we have that out of the way, let's play some long tones together.